right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, these days, food shopping means forking over a lot more money. The grocery store hacks that will lower your bill.
The break in the humidity gets even better as we head towards the weekend. Why the drier air may put a bit of a chill in the morning air.
And our top story tonight, firefighters are in their 12th hour battling a massive fire at a recycling factory. Residents told to stay inside and turn off their AC because of possible toxic air.
Could there be effects on people? Certainly could.
The huge flames, they have died down dramatically, but firefighters are still on the scene at this hour, putting out hot spots in the Metro East. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The 5-alarm fire started around 10 this morning at the Interco Recycling Center in Madison, near Granite City. Our Robert Townsend kicks off our team coverage live from the scene with the latest.
Mike and Ann, right now firefighters are still out here putting out lots of hot spots at this now destroyed recycling center. Take a look at this 10 o'clock hour. Lots of smoke is still billowing from the burned out shell. We also see firefighters hoisted on ladders, and they're still pouring lots of water on hot spots that just won't quit.
It was so hot to where you could feel the heat on your face.
Right after she took out her trash, Rachel Kirkwood turned around and saw a massive fire erupt at Interco Recycling Center a block away from her home.
We were standing on the porch, and I'm like, what in the world? I had turned around. I'm like, when did this happen?
The 5-alarm fire started shortly after 10 Wednesday morning on Fox Industrial Drive in Madison, Illinois. Plumes of thick black smoke and the raging flames could be seen for miles.
It was such a loud boom to where it shook the car and the ground.
A startled Kirkwood whipped out her cell phone and caught the unbelievable fire on video.
You heard the boom like an explosion, and then behind that you can see the sparks. I wasn't afraid, I was praying for the people over there.
One employee at the factory suffered burns. Paramedics rushed the worker to a hospital. Residents within a mile radius of the fire had to stay inside their homes and businesses with their windows closed and their air conditioning off.
But I looked out my window. It was bad then, but we came outside and was really able to see how far spread it was.
According to his website, Interco is a global recycling company headquartered in Madison. Investigators say the all-day fire destroyed the building, recycling materials, lithium batteries, and other hazardous materials that were inside, outside several burning cars, also demolished.
The cause of the fire is still unknown. When the fire is out, the investigation will begin.
Now, about 3,800 people live here in Madison. Tonight, the shelter-in-place order remains in effect here and nearby Venice, Illinois. Now, it has been lifted for people who live in Granite City. As for these firefighters, they are definitely gearing up for one long night. We're live in Madison, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Many of you captured your own incredible images of today's fire and shared them with us. Davis Martin took this picture of a huge plume of smoke from inside a plane. And that plume could be seen for miles. Mark Cox shared this video he took from downtown St. Louis. Today, our crews found several people with health conditions who live within feet of the fire at the metal recycling plant.
Our Brent Solomon continues our team coverage with a closer look at how massive fires like this can impact your health. Brent.
Mike, and any fire can be cause for concern, but this one had significant risks due to the fact that metal was burning all day long. That can take a toll on one's health. And then there are questions over whether chemicals were used to fight the fire. Incredible images of the Interco Recycling Center on fire Wednesday. You're seeing the pictures on television. Others saw and smelled it right outside their front doors.
The rooftop was burning. Then I started smelling air.
It was bad. It was boom, 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 boom.
Donna Frazier and many of her neighbors battle health challenges.
I have asthma. I have bronchitis. I have COPD.
Why is this a concern?
So that is exactly the first thing that comes to mind is what are the health effects of this event?
Dr. Jay Turner is a professor and researcher at WashU. He says there are concerns when it comes to metals and air pollution.
They get into your lungs. It can move into other parts of your body through the bloodstream and cause inflammation. How your body responds to that inflammation is what's important. and it could lead to respiratory problems or to heart problems.
This neighbor has another question.
Chemicals out here.
5 on Your Side asked firefighters if they used chemicals to battle the blaze.
Are you fighting it strictly with water now, or are we bringing in?
I'm not sure. Sometimes foam is used as well. From what I've heard, it's just water at this point.
We'll keep asking questions to keep you informed.
I still smell smoke. It's in our house, too.
And today, those who live within a mile of the fire were told to shelter in place, close their windows, and turn off their air conditioning. This was an effort by first responders to keep neighbors safe.
We're staying on top of this story, Brent. You can get the latest developments as we learn them by downloading the 5 on Your Side app. New tonight, our I-team has learned that the St. Louis man with a history of stalking has been indicted by a federal grand jury for cyber stalking women across the country. Robert Merkel is now accused of harassing 5 women online. The allegations happened between June 2021 and last January. In February, Merkel was taken into custody in Town and Country after another woman said he was harassing her there. He's still in St. Louis County Jail. Merkel previously spent time in prison after 6 charges of harassment in 2018.
Tonight, a Potosi police officer is in jail, accused of sexually assaulting a minor. Matthew Skaggs was arrested this morning on charges of statutory sodomy and enticement of a child. The Potosi police chief says Skaggs resigned and surrendered his peace officer's license. Police are still searching tonight for the person who stole a car with a 2-year-old girl inside. Tonight, that girl is safe at home. Police say it started around 2:45 this morning in a parking lot of a senior living facility on Dunn Road. An Amber Alert was issued around 4 a.m. 2 hours later, the car was found in Ferguson with the little girl inside.
She wasn't aware of what was going on. So they got her and they checked her out and made sure, but she was happy. She gave us all a hug when we first drove up, so, you know.
Police do not have a description of the suspect.
Tonight, a flood resource center in North St. Louis says all of its available appointments tomorrow are booked. They will not be able to take any walk-ins for the center's final day at Friendly Temple Church. The American Red Cross says it's already served more than 4,000 people. But federal FEMA crews are now on the ground in the St. Louis region to survey flood damage and to help victims register for assistance. Today, they went door to door in University City, one of the hardest hit areas. Nearly every home has a notice on the front door condemning the building. One resident who is still in his house tells us it was good to have someone walk him through the registration process.
Nobody I know, actually. We see it a lot on television, but to experience firsthand is kind of weird. I had a few sleepless nights, but I slept pretty good last night. Finally.
FEMA has 5 crews targeting St. Louis City and County as well as St. Charles County. East St. Louis leaders are pushing for FEMA to aid flood victims 2 weeks after the devastation.
Many residents feel left in the dark on where that process stands. Pepper Baker connects the dots.
Along Terrace Drive in East St. Louis, uninhabitable houses, pieces of trash, and debris line the street.
It was like this whole area was like a lake.
Kenneth Cook had to rip out the drywall after his living room flooded. 2 weeks later, many of his neighbors are still cleaning their houses out.
Oh, the trash was horrible. They had a big pile, they had a big pile. The whole street was lined. Took them about 5 days to get trash picking up.
You know, we don't have an emergency response team. I am it, and so is my team.
Mayor Robert Eastern devised a 3-week trash pickup plan to cover all 25 of the city's precincts. That started August 8th.
That's the first week is in the east end of town and the south end of town. Those are the first week. The second week is the middle of the city and the north end of town.
Now that the trash pickup plan is in place, residents are wondering where the city stands on getting aid from FEMA.
I don't even know if the mayor's doing anything, you know, because people can't get loans or whatever because they ain't got FEMA.
Declaring a state of emergency is the first critical step in getting FEMA aid. Eastern did that for the city, and Governor J.B. Pritzker issued a disaster proclamation for St. Clair and Washington counties.
From that, there are certain thresholds, monetary thresholds that needs to be reached before, to my understanding, before FEMA will come into our area.
With FEMA aiding the Missouri side of the St. Louis region this week, Eastern is working with state leaders to bring them to East St. Louis.
By us being located in proximity with St. Louis and some of the other counties, we may be able to use that guideline to be able to get FEMA here quicker. It's not guaranteed yet. If we're still trying to work it out, but we're definitely, it's definitely in the conversation.
In East St. Louis, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
Eastern urges impacted citizens and businesses to call the United Way's 211 line to record flood damages. A flood supply giveaway is being held at City Hall. That will be Friday morning at 10. Those details and the trash pickup information are also available at KSTK.com. We've made it easy for flood victims to find the recovery resources they need. Just text the word HELP to 314-425-5355. Recent flooding in Coldwater Creek could disrupt the start of the school year for some students in the Hazelwood School District. School officials have alerted parents of low levels of radioactive material near Jana Elementary School. Contamination has plagued the creek and surrounding neighborhoods in North County for decades. More testing is being done, but the results won't be in by the start of the school year. Until then, parents have to decide whether to send their kids back to school or go virtual.
St. Louis students will head back to school in 12 days, and this weekend, Annie Malone is getting students ready with its first ever Family Fest. On Saturday, families in need can get free school supplies, medical exams, and vaccines. Kids can also grab free movie tickets and play carnival games, and they're expecting a big crowd.
Let people come here to this event and get all the love, nutrition, supplies, food, everything they need, and bring them babies. Bring them babies out to this event. I will be here in my tennis shoes with my board and all the staff, and we're going to create, and with the help of Mr. Cornell, we're going to create an experience that everybody's going to talk about.
The Annie Malone Family Fest is taking place this Saturday at its campus on Page Boulevard from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Their 6-year-old son drowned at summer camp. The millions of dollars they're now seeking from St. Louis County. Signs tonight, inflation is slowing, but not at the grocery store.
Grocery prices, they're outrageous.
We're helping you make ends meet by uncovering supermarket savings.
Grab the bug spray and the sunscreen. Just how spectacular this weekend is expected to be.
The parents of a 6-year-old boy who drowned while at day camp are now suing St. Louis County.
TJ Mister Jr. drowned at the Kennedy Rec Center pool last month. A lawsuit claims TJ wasn't wearing a life vest, even though camp officials were made aware he couldn't swim and required one. It also alleges there was only one lifeguard on duty to oversee 40 children. The parents are seeking $40 million in compensatory damages. The pool has been closed for the season.
Tonight, new inflation numbers are out, and they're better than expected. After several months of gains, inflation slowed last month. It's largely due to dropping gas prices, but despite the promising news, it's still tough to buy the essentials.
Grocery prices, they're outrageous.
Groceries are up 11% from last year, and many people say they just can't seem to catch a break.
For $200 every 2 weeks, now it's probably like $400 every 2 weeks.
Like, I have 3 dogs, so it's like I have to watch my dog food prices too now, besides my grocery bill prices.
Tonight, Michelle Lee is helping make ends meet by asking the people who sell groceries to give us their top tips to save on their food bills.
These days, we are all racking it up at the register.
So supply chain challenges have been crazy.
Grocery stores eat some of those double-digit cost increases to keep their customers by offering inflation-busting deals. At Schnucks, a St. Louis-based store, a good tip is to shop manager specials in the morning around 9 or 10 o'clock. That could be an automatic 20% savings or more.
So you're saving 85 cents on this item, and it still doesn't expire for 4 more days.
Another tip, pick store brands over brand names. You can almost never go wrong with store brand peanut butter.
You're saving 40% just making a switch from this item to that item.
In fact, a little known secret, your generic might actually be made by a name brand company.
In often cases for generic brands, it's still the name brand that's making them, right? So they're just slapping a different label on it when it comes out of the end of the pipe.
Another tip, at Schnucks, watch for the 1996 Butcher's Bundle. Now this is a deal that's been getting people through the doors for a couple of years now, but it's extremely popular as meat prices continue to rise.
So for less than $20, less than $5 a day, you can have center of the plate protein 4 days of the week.
But the biggest savings yet are actually tied to your phone.
That's really where you're going to save the money, is the digital coupons.
Take it from the guy who buys groceries for all of the stores. Digital coupons these days offer up to double-digit savings, and they're tied to your shopping habits.
Our job now is to find ways to add value to what we sell for our customers, give them ways that they can save money.
Something to chew on the next time you're at the grocery store. Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
Other great tips, CNBC.com says try using cashback apps like Ibotta or Checkout 51. Make sure you're meal planning. Try to buy in bulk when you can. Even using a cashback credit card could help you earn money as you shop.
All of my Lake of the Ozarks fans, and oh my goodness, look at this great weather. No problem.
So that is not video from 5 years ago. That's video from 5 p.m. today. Former Chief Meteorologist Cindy Pressler made a return to 5 on your side earlier tonight to deliver the forecast at 5 and 6. She moved to Florida and now forecast the weather in Miami. But Cindy's in town to take part in our 75th anniversary event, Local News Lasting Impact. And you're invited to join us tomorrow night at the Missouri History Museum. Cocktail hour starts at 5:30, followed by a panel discussion featuring current and former 5 on your side anchors, reporters, meteorologists. And we have more information at kstk.com/museum.
Now let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with chill. You used the word chill, but first, how was that reunion with Cindy?
Oh, it was great this afternoon, and Cindy actually said, this is kind of cool, you know, literally outside, because temperatures were only in the low to mid 80s
and
today.
she's used to that Miami weather now.
That's
she
right.
said she needed a jacket or something?
Yeah, she needed
said,
a jacket, and we're all like, oh, this is like such relief for us. We've had so much heat and humidity. Look at some of these outlying areas right now, already down into the mid 60s. As you head out to Warrenton, Cook Station's down to 67 degrees, Litchfield's at 64, even the Chesterfield Valley at Spirit of St. Louis down to 66 degrees. That's still warm, relatively so, in the city, and also at Lambert, where it's 75 degrees. But St. Louis tonight under a mainly clear sky, waiting for that beautiful moonlit sky overnight. It's nearly a full moon tonight. We're about 99% there. Full moon's actually tomorrow night, the Sturgeon moon. We're talking temperatures today that were in the low to mid 80s with very comfortable humidity levels. As promised, all the rain pushed on to the south of St. Louis, and tonight under that mainly clear sky, we have 75 degrees at Lambert. Our dew point right now 61. The high today was 85. The low this morning, 68 degrees. Tomorrow morning, we should be in the mid-60s in town. Outlying areas, in some cases, with this kind of dry air that's around, in the upper 50s. And you can bet by the time we get to Saturday morning, when the air's even a little bit drier, some of the outlying areas could be down into the mid-50s. Quick warm-up tomorrow. Bright skies through the day. Temperatures going back into the mid to upper 80s for highs. So here we are tomorrow afternoon, Futurecast, picking it up a little after 1 o'clock or so, heading towards the evening. Notice a few scattered showers and thunderstorms trying to come at us from the northeast here. This is a backdoor cool front that's sliding in. Backdoor because most of the time they come from the northwest. This coming from the northeast. Kind of comes in the backside, but by the time it gets into St. Louis, there's not much moisture really for it to produce showers for us. We might get a couple of spritzes off to the northeast, and we'll see a few clouds, but that should be about it. That'll set us up for a pretty decent weekend at the area lakes. Temperatures are going to be hot and toasty if you're headed to Table Rock or Lake of the Ozarks, both Saturday and Sunday, going well into the 90s. We'll stay around 90 on Saturday. Mainly dry conditions across the bi-state region. We will have some clouds from time to time. Sunday is a little more humid across the area, but our better rain chances still eluding the bi-state region. So for the next 10 days, doesn't really get much better than this for this time of year. Our average high temperature is 89 degrees. So we're pretty close to that Thursday and again on Saturday, a little above Sunday. But then you notice next week, we're slipping back into the low and mid 80s for highs. So the front comes through tomorrow evening, gets us even more dry air in here for Friday into Saturday morning. Saturday morning could be kind of cool in some of the outlying areas, but then it's a very warm weekend. Going into next week, we do introduce that chance for a spot shower or thunderstorm along about Monday, and that chance really exists all week, but there's no big storm system heading our way. Just be little disturbances.
What a nice stretch, Scott, for August.
Looks great.
Yeah. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we have it all. Albert going deep, Jack Clark talking hitting, and Drink talking football at Mizzou. Stick around, please. Things that you should avoid. Talking politics at a family dinner, asking a woman her age, and throwing a left-handed pitcher against the Cardinals. They will destroy them. Tyler O'Neill was robbed last night. He was rewarded tonight. A double that scores Nolan Arenado, and it's 3-0 Cardinals in the first. Paul DeYoung's streak of nothing but extra base hits ends here. He has to settle for an RBI base hit. He doubled twice later, though. 5-0 Cardinals after one. Hey, remember Austin Gomber? He was in the trade for Arenado. And Nolan says, hello, Austin. His 23rd homer, and it's 7-2. Speaking of homers, Albert made it 687 with this blast. He had 4 hits tonight. What a swan song season this is turning out to be. Jose Quintana, 6 innings, 6 Ks, 2 runs. Right now, it's 8-2 Cardinals in the 8th inning. The Brewers went to extra innings with the Rays in Milwaukee this afternoon. Willie Adames sticks it to his old team with this base hit to left. Tyrone Taylor is around third. He will score to walk it off. The final 4-3. So, the man behind me, Jack Clark. He's the author of one of the most famous home runs in Cardinals history. He was a mix of masculinity and cool. Clark was the featured speaker tonight at a St. Louis University baseball fundraiser at Olive and Oak. Great food, by the way. SLU baseball coach Darren Hendrickson brought in the right guy. He told some great stories. And here's how he remembers his most famous blast in 1985 against the Dodgers.
As I hit it, I looked into the dugout and said, take that, you know, and took my time running around the bases, and it was one of the funnest moments. For all the frustrating years in San Francisco against the Dodgers, and I never liked the Dodgers. I don't like them to this day. And so anytime we can whip up on them, I actually hope we play them in the playoffs, and Albert gets up there and takes them deep and does the same thing to him, you know.
And that's going to drop in front of Thomas. Castro hustling into third. His phone comes out of his pocket. Now that's a first.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Pirates rookie Rodolfo Castro had his cell phone in his uniform pants on this slide in Arizona last night. Why, you ask? Well, we give you the top 5 things he was thinking. Number 5, wait, that pocket is for a sliding pad? Number 4, selfie time at third base. Number 3, oh, my Amazon delivery is here. Number 2, watching Better Call Saul on the bases. And the number 1 reason, well, Mom always calls at 8:30. All right, so my spies in the Mizzou football program tell me they're going to open up this offense like you've never seen it before. Coach Drink came here with that reputation, and he's going to try and show it now. And he will do it with the pride of Chaminade as his starting quarterback. Brady Cook was named the starter last night. He's a good athlete, good arm, command of this offense, and the former Sports Plus guest embraces this moment.
I'm in a position right now that I used to dream of, and I've really worked my whole football career for this moment. So, I mean, it means so much, and just growing up and watching the Tigers and being from St. Louis, it means even more, so it's really special.
It's going to be his job, like I told him last night. It's my job to get him to start it, and I've done that. He's earned it. It's up to him to finish, and it's up to him to finish the job at quarterback.
Good luck to Brady, and that will do it in sports.
So you're saying being on Sports Plus is the reason?
There does seem to be a direct connection. You're on Sports Plus, good things happen.
All right, Frank, thanks.
A new role for John Hamm, and it means the St. Louis actor no longer has sour grapes against Apple. Lion's Choice is getting into the plant-based meat game. The local roast beef chain is teaming up with another St. Louis company, Hungry Planet, for a plant-based meatball sub. The new sandwich will hit menus this fall.
Seriously? Denzel, Francis McDormand, Momoa, Snoopy.
Apple TV Plus will soon have everyone, including Jon Hamm. The St. Louisan starred in a sarcastic ad for the streaming service earlier this year, complaining it features every A-list actor except him. Now, Hamm has been cast in season 3 of Apple's The Morning Show, starring opposite Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. He'll play a corporate titan.
He's so good at being a jerk.
Right.
He will be great on that show.
He was really good in Top Gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and in what's the advertising show? Mad Men.
Well,
He was,
Mad Men.
yeah. Sorry.
That's how he became famous. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Guest tonight, he has Madonna and Elvis Costello.